Hello, guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are watching. Guys, we are planning to upload a video on YouTube on various numerous topics, which are basically important for corporates as well as practicing professionals. We are a team of corporate law planners. My name is Karam Sahani, company secretary. My immediate right is Yash Chopra, CA finalist, and third one is Rishabh Jain, who is also company secretary. So, guys, today's topic is MSME, MSME-1 form that basically needs to be filed by the company on half yearly basis. So, guys, what does exactly MSME-1 form is? So now we discuss about this form, various complexities, what are the needs, and what exactly MSME is. So, Rishabh, can you please elaborate us what does MSME means?
Thank you, Karam, for this opportunity to invite me to make this video on MSME. Now, I would like to tell the viewers that MSME stands for Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. Basically, government wants to give the certain benefits to certain entities. Therefore, the government introduced this concept. So there could be a taxation benefits, loan benefits, and which could be numerous benefits which is given to the MSMEs. And for the purpose of MSME, you need to register itself in the on the portal, Udyam portal, so you can recognize as a MSME. Now, I would like to tell you, I would request to Karam to show us the exact definition, which is recently changed by the ministry. Uh, Please, Karam, show us
Yes,
the.
the concerned ministry. Yes, uh, right, Bishop. As you have said that the threshold limits basically is recently changed, recently amended in the year 2020. So, what does exactly MSME means? Thank you, Rishabh. आपने जो थोड़ा brief discuss किया इसके ऊपर. So now I'm telling you that what does exactly MSME is. MSME stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. So, what does micro enterprise means? In this, micro enterprises means that enterprise in which the investment size, basically we are talking about in this definition investment size and turnover. This definition combination of combination of thresholds of investment size and turnover. So, and the enterprise in which the investment size of plant and machinery, if the that enterprise is dealing in the supply of goods, is up to rupees 1 crore and the turnover is up to rupees 5 crore, that enterprise is to be called as micro enterprise. And about small enterprise, where the threshold, I'm talking about the threshold limits is if the investment size in plant and machinery and equipments is up to rupees 10 crore and the turnover is up to rupees 50 crore, that enterprise is to be called as small enterprise. And if I'm talking about the medium enterprise, then medium enterprise investment in plant and machinery and equipment is up to rupees 50 crore and the turnover size is up to rupees 250 crore. That enterprise is to be called as medium enterprise. इसके अंदर जो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है वो ये होगा कि इसके अंदर माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल enterprises are covered under this notification. If I'm talking about the MC notification now, that is basically notified on 22nd of January 2019, that MC cover only two enterprises, that is micro and small enterprises. Medium enterprises not covered under this notification. That means if the company files a form, if the company basically taken supply from the micro and small enterprises, then the company needs to file an MSME-1 form. But if the company get a supply from medium enterprise, then company need not basically to file a form. So under MC notification, I'm talking about that medium enterprises is not covered. Only micro and small enterprises are covered. So can you please, Rishabh, can you please elaborate the MC notification. What does exactly it means? What does MCA wants from the companies? Can you please elaborate in brief?
Uh, yes, Karam, sure. On the 22nd of January 2019, MCA issues a notification in relation to the filing of form on a MCA portal, MSME-1 form, and
Yes, yes.
this order, or we can say that its notification tells us that every company which has the dues to MSME, then it shall file the details of all transactions in the MSME-1 form. And MSME-1 form should be filed on a half yearly basis. Firstly, and it should be filed within a 1 month from the end of the half year.
Okay.
And
So due date is 30th April. That means the period is 1st October to 31st March, right? And the due
right,
date is 30th
right.
April. Okay. So one query, whether it is covered public as well as private company, right? OPC small company, or only public company is covered, or private company is covered.
Actually, it includes every company,
Okay. Whether it is private, public,
whether
small,
public,
OPC.
whether it's private. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, it is.
every company is covered. Yes, every company is covered. And if I'm talking about supply in this sense, that if micro and small enterprises giving supply to the company, supply includes goods or services. Whether it is goods or services, it includes under definition of supply. And if I'm further elaborate, thank you, Rishabh. If I further elaborate now, then it covers that if the micro and small enterprises supplies whether goods or services to company, and now the company becomes recipient, and if the company uh, pay consideration to micro and small enterprises beyond 45 days, beyond 45 days from the date of acceptance, then only company needs to file MSME-1 form to jurisdictional ROC. The important point under this notification, which should be read with Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Act 2006. Yes, there's a linkage of date of acceptance, date of deemed acceptance. Now, what does exactly it mean? Date of acceptance means the day on which actual delivery is made. That means if a micro and small enterprises is supplying goods or services, the date on which actually received by the company is to be called as date of acceptance. That means 45 days is counted from the date of acceptance. Now, I will move. Yes. From which date? Date of acceptance. Yes. Date of acceptance from 45 days from the date of acceptance. Now I will basically link some quite provisions of the Limitation Act 2. As per the Limitations Act and other provisions of the various laws, wherever the law is written that from the date, then that date is to be excluded. That means the day on which the company takes the delivery of the goods, or in the case of services, the day is excluded, and 45 days is to be counted from next day. Okay, so they are fresh 45 days. That means, okay, now I will move further to date of deemed acceptance. What is date of deemed acceptance? So it may be possible that if the company taken goods or services, there may be some deficiency or some kind of damages occurred. Is generally basically देखा जाता है कि if someone is taken supply either in the form of goods or services, there may be some deficiency or damages. So that may be claimed by the company, and the time period is given under MSME Act. That means 15 days from the date of actual delivery, date of acceptance. Date of actual delivery say 15 days के अंदर, if the company wants to claim such goods that there is deficiency, that there is some damages, like, so within 15 days from the date of actual delivery, the company has to make an intimation to that supplier that such goods or such services are deficient or damages has been there. But uh, there is another important point here, that is written intimation. अंडर एमएसएमई एक्ट के प्रोविजंस में ये लिखा हुआ है दैट रिटन इंटीमेशन जाएगी. दैट मींस इफ द कंपनी ओरली, मे बी सम टेलीफोनिक कॉल और समथिंग एल्स, अगर इन केस इंटीमेट करती है सप्लायर को दैट दैट मे नॉट कवर्ड अंडर दिस प्रोविजन, that should be written intimation to that supplier that something is wrong, something is damaged, something is deficiency in your part, and within 15 days के अंदर intimate करना है. And whenever that supplier removes such kind of deficiency or damages, then that day of removal of deficiency would be termed as date of acceptance. Date of acceptance. Okay, in case of deficiency has been occurred, and if there is no deficiency and the company does not intimate any kind of deficiency or damages to the supplier, then that day of actual delivery of goods should be termed as date of deemed acceptance. That means date of deemed acceptance कि उस दिन कंपनी ने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है. अगर 15 डेज के अंदर कंपनी ने इंटीमेट नहीं किया कुछ भी डेफिशिएंसी या फिर डैमेजेस, तो ये माना जाएगा कि गुड्स में कोई डेफिशिएंसी नहीं, कोई डैमेजेस नहीं है, और जिस दिन एक्चुअल डिलीवरी हुई है गुड्स की, सर्विसेज की, वही डे ऑफ डीम्ड एक्सेप्टेंस मान ली जाएगी. So this is the concept of date of acceptance or date of deemed acceptance. So Rishabh, yes, 15 days is counted from the date of actual delivery. Actual delivery of, yes, 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 yes. Rishabh, any question?
No, I don't have any
Yes,
question related to this.
you did. Which you did? MSME form basically, yes, is a half yearly form that the company is required twice in a financial year. I say that means 1st April to 1st April to 30th September. The period is basically 1st April 30th September. The company needs to file an MSME-1 form up to 31st October, and the second half of the financial year, that is 1st October to 31st March, the company needs to file within 30 days. That is, the due date is nearly approaching 30th April. Yes, next month last year. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, there is a penalty as per the provisions of the Companies Act. There is a penalty on the company if company वो file नहीं करते तो, as per the relevant prescribed provisions of the Companies Act. As Yash as already told by Rishabh earlier, that this form, this provision, basically this notification, I can say, this provision is applicable on all company, whether it is private, public, and any company, any type of company. Rishabh, can you please elaborate us the various particulars required to be filled, as a number of stakeholders needs to ask that what are the particulars? There's some confusion regarding particulars of MSME-1 form. Can you please show some light? Your mic is off. Can you please turn it on? Thank you.
There are certain particulars which is provided in the notification itself. Even we can say that performa of the form, which is provided in the notification, and there are various, informations asked by them, like reason for delay, in which financial year you did you did that transaction with the MSME, name of the supplier, pan of supplier, amount due, and then specify the date from which the amount is due. And it could be 2019, 2017. So and then there is a one one option there, optional attachment, which we can put various attachments, like we can upload the bill, and we can upload the PDF form of all the data which is mentioned in the form. So this form should be filed. Sorry, no, it is not mandatory. We can show that. Yeah, there is no any attachment which is mandatory, but I'm clarifying that which can be uploaded with this form. And there is no any certification, professional certification is required in this form. Director can can put it, sign the form, and then upload it on the MCA website. And I would tell you that there is no fees on MCA portal to filing of this form.
This is basically Rishabh, kind of relief you can say for the companies, right? That
Yes,
there is
it
no
can be
filing
relief,
fees
but
because
I would
because it's just an
I would
intimation,
add.
right?
Right. It's just an intimation. It's just a data which is given to the ministries so that they can plan that how the MSME suffers in this market, and
Right, right.
they can future they can act, and they can took the step on the basis of that data.
Yes, yes.
And I would tell you that what is the consequences if company did not file this form. Actually, this notification comes under section 405 under of the Companies Act 2013, and it says that if the company fails to comply with an order, है ना, then the company and the every officer of company who is in default shall be liable to a penalty of 20,000 rupees, and in case of continuing default, with a further penalty of 1,000 rupees for each day after the first, during which failure continues, subject to the maximum of 3 lakh rupees. Means every officer and a company, there's a word "and", so every officer of the company and the company both will be liable.
Uh, yeah,
Sorry.
I'll show the form on my screen to give more clarity. How does it look like, or what are the basic particulars in the form? Just wait a bit.
Please, Karam, allow me to show the window.
Yeah, just a minute. Yes, just a minute. Sure. Okay. Do you have? Okay.
Yes, Karam, I have the form. This is the form which should be filed. No, firstly we should uh, select the language. We cannot select the Hindi language. It would be only English. Okay, and
Yes.
now we have to select the initial return or regular half return. Initial return, it is not applicable now, just because it is initially filed when notification comes. Then we have to select this. Otherwise, we have to select this return half yearly form. We have to set the period for which period we are filing this form, and thereafter we have to mention the sin and then prefill. Okay, and thereafter this would be prefilled, but pen number would not be prefilled. We have to enter the pen number manually, and thereafter we will go further to the point number 4, regularly half return outstanding amounts. This is the main part of the form, in which we have to mention all the entries, or we can say all the data, from which financial year to which financial year, name of the supplier, PAN number of supplier, amount due, and specify a date from which amount is due. And there is a limit in this form. Only 99 entries can be entered in this form. We cannot enter the more than 99 entries in this form. If you have more than 99 entries, then you have to file another form, a second form you have to prepare, and thereafter you have to mention the reason why the payment is delayed, and thereafter you can say that is optional attachment. And now this is uh, this is a declaration given by the directors, and it shall be signed by it shall be signed by the director, manager, secretary, CEO or CFO, which is authorized by the company by the board resolution. And now pen number we can enter this, and thereafter check form, and then thereafter you can put the DSC, and then pre-scrutiny of the form, and thereafter you can file this form. So yes, I have shown you the form, entire form, in which you can put the data and you can file the form on MCA portal.
Thanks, Rishabh, for giving such clarity on the MSME one form. Now, I think stakeholders knows that what exactly this form is and what are the particulars is. Now, it is more easy for the stakeholders like Yash to file such form to the ROC and comply such MC notification. Any more questions, Yash? You can ask. So now I'm concluding this video, and in brief, एक कंक्लूजन में मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि MSM there is a basically form MSME-1 form that needs to be filed by the company, and if supplier is micro and small only, then the company at first check in its checklist. First checklist is to get a certificate from that micro and small, that whether such entity is registered or not. That must be registered under MSME Act. So first step is to get certificate from the micro and small enterprise that whether it is covered, whether it is registered or not. And the second step is to collect the data and what exactly the amount is, what exactly the due date is, what are the particular of the supplier, PAN of the supplier is. And the third step is basically to fill the particulars of the supplier, in which are basically collected in step two, and file such form. One more important point that is maybe skipped or something else, that if now the company, if the outstanding amount has reflected in the accounts as on 31st March or as on 30th September, whatever the amount is reflected, that maybe delayed amount, you can say, that amount should be filled in the form as well. And if that particular period, for example, 1st April to 30th September or 1st October to 31st March, in that period the company taken supply from any registered micro and small enterprises, and if the company delays the payment beyond 45 days and make such payment within the same period, and that amount is not reflected on 31st March or 30th September, now the question arises whether that amount is also to be required to be filled in such form or not. The answer is yes. The company needs to record such transaction in such form, and that particular may be filled in such form. Okay, so whether it is reflected on the end of the period or not, the company needs to fill such transaction as per the MC notification. सो आई थिंक ये वीडियो यूजफुल रही होगी। ऐसे ही हम और भी अच्छी वीडियो आते रहेंगे और रोज अपलोड अपलोड करेंगे ताकि स्टेक होल्डर को इस पेंडेमिक में फायदा हो। सो थैंक यू गाइस, दैट्स ऑल अबाउट इट। होप यू लाइक सच वीडियो। थैंक यू ऋषभ, थैंक यू यश।